Welcome to the Nexus Unloaded podcast. This is Will Crozier.
And I'm Mikki Westcombe. We are the founders of Nexus Performance. Joining us on this wild ride is our heavyweight coaching team, ready to unleash their expertise to solve any problems in your journey to getting strong and jacked.
Through our real-world experience, we hope to break things down in a digestible, applicable, and entertaining way.
So pump up the volume and let's get into this. Just watch your cables because he'll probably... Everyone,
That's what I'm
Bowser's in the room. Say hi, Bowser.
Wave.
Oh. Yeah, that's why the roadcaster's going to get pulled off.
All right,
next,
come
mate.
on, sit down.
In
Come
your
on,
bed.
Bed.
Into bed.
Bed.
Good boy.
Welcome to today's podcast where it's going to be Bowser Bed. Okay, well, we can't start off by mentioning your cool shirt this week.
Oh, that's right.
Wilbur.
Yep.
No, it's a bit cold today. It's a bit rainy on the Gold Coast.
Snippy.
I went for a walk in the rain. It was nice.
We had
We did
something
too.
that you would do.
We took Bowser out this morning.
Well, people can't tell you're crying if you walk in the rain.
It's like when you're cutting onions.
Yeah. I Miss You by Blink-182. You just on repeat.
Perfect. Down a Burley Hill.
Let's go, Sammy.
Take me away.
We are.
Oh, gosh. But yes, we are back home.
Do a Harold Holt.
We
Straight.
recorded an episode last week, which in true fashion, you know, the
Nexus
history,
Unloaded.
Technical difficulties.
great with this podcast history. The audio was set slightly wrong, so it just
Who said that?
kind of messed us up a little bit. Well, Mickey's closest to the laptop, so she has the most control. So we won't blame it on anybody.
This is why we were like to bring it back.
Be like that.
I
This
didn't-
is why we voted to bring Will back. He's
Why?
made the cut. He's back in the team.
After fucking up the audio. We fucked up the video the week before, though.
Yeah,
I like
you didn't
that.
replace the camera battery.
Did you write the caption? Or tab?
I wrote the caption.
Oh, it was like this down the bottom. So the boys are saying like something about
The
being
technology prowess.
technologically inept or something. I was like,
We had
Shit's
we
complicated.
identified that the camera was going to turn off because we had a battery in there, and then we changed it. And for whatever reason, the battery we put in popped up after like 2 minutes and was like,
Yeah, that happened.
Battery
It was-
flat.
It was sitting in the thing, but it didn't charge.
It just
Mm.
it
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, still, whose fault is that? We weren't even in the
Kiva.
country.
Kiva
I
Performance.
think it was Kiva. That was his
Yeah,
responsibility.
we're going to have to.
anyway. We're
Well,
good now. We're
alive
back.
and we're
Hopefully, the audio is good. If we have to throw this one out, that won't be much fun.
No one gets to find out
But-
about America.
So
Sorry.
we're going to combine. We're going to combine it because last week was pure America, and then today we were planning on talking about your comp, Josh, as well as like all the other clients' comps down at Valhalla Strength Brisbane.
What's been going on with Biz?
Yeah, that's
Bit of a mixed
that was
bag.
what was meant to be today. But so we're going to split it up and do not as much ranting on America.
Yeah, you spent about
Um,
15 minutes last week ranting on America, and I was like, I really don't want that podcast to air. So when it actually came back that there was technical issues, I was like, sweet, we should.
No, I was
that
just
mean-
breaking down their pros and cons. All
Does
right?
that mean we
It's-
should do rapid fire
Yes.
rapid fire America questions?
Yes.
Oh fuck yeah!
I was
Yeah,
looking
but we can
forward
go
to-
through. We can still kind of say what we did.
Yeah.
Because unless you were following us on Instagram and everything,
Us,
um,
me, because you didn't post shit on
yeah,
Instagram.
I reshared your stuff. You would
No,
have,
you posted like one thing. The periphery.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, most important one. But yeah, we went over for 5 weeks total to give a real quick run through. We started off in Napa Valley, which
Why did we
is
go there?
was our honeymoon.
Mhm.
So we got married a week before that.
important information.
Yeah, no, fuck. And then
Someone else the other day goes, "Why you been gone for 5 weeks?"
yeah,
And I looked at him and I was like, "You taking the piss?"
no.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not everyone knows this shit. But yeah, we
They should.
got married. Week later,
Jetted off.
jetted off. Yep. Didn't want to leave a chance for like, oh, like we'll go on a honeymoon at some stage because it would never happen.
Mm.
So we booked
Good
it
call.
well in advance. So
we booked.
I booked some of it.
Did you?
Yeah,
did-
we
what
won't
did you
talk
book, Will?
percentages, but I definitely some of it.
Won't talk percentages.
We don't need to go down to the nitty gritty. Bring up the spreadsheets.
0.04%.
Boring. Yeah,
Fractions,
boring. Nobody
Just
likes
numbers.
fractions. Nah, nobody likes that stuff. Just details, really. Just not needed.
Yeah, so-
So
And,
precarious.
Bowser's
Oh
in the
no,
room.
that's mine.
But yeah, we headed off. Firstly, went to Napa Valley, which is a wine estate. Basically, think kind of valley in Australia. Just relaxed for a week, did nothing, drank lots of wine, rested. real relaxed start to it before we went to Aftershock, which is a 4-day music festival in Sacramento. We saw 4 days straight of just live music because Australia really doesn't get a whole lot. And then, so we went from basically complete rest and sitting our ass in the winery to, we've got a rebel here, to 4 days on our feet, just, going crazy at the music. Then we went to San Fran for a few days, to New York for New Orleans for a week.
Orleans. Yeah.
Mardi Gras.
A bit over, yeah. And not at that time.
Okay.
No, they do. They have, you can tell why though. It's just, well, not all, obviously. It's like here where surfers is like, a part of it that you don't go. Like they have that part, and that's where we were, the touristy part.
The part where you don't go.
Yeah,
well, the way locals wouldn't go. Yeah.
Like Cavill Avenue. Like, when was the last time you guys went there?
Yeah, fuck no.
I love Cavill Ave.
Of course.
I saw him passed out there not long ago, face down.
Was that Schoolies?
Schoolies.
Yeah.
He was one of the toolies.
I have been arrested. Is it still at Schoolies before? Is it because I was passed out and I woke up in the
This
South
isn't
Port
a
Watch House
confessional.
the next morning?
Yeah, you don't have to.
Is it still
You don't have
toolies
to.
if you do it at 43, or when does the age limit end?
The limit does not exist.
Yeah.
Numbers again. Good.
School is
a more
30,
refined tool.
50 or something. Me
So
and
where
my
were we?
rocker.
Yeah, New Orleans, Bourbon Street. Yeah, they have all the daiquiris and that sort of stuff. They do Mardi Gras big. They do everything a little bit big. But they do a lot of, we did swamp
Music
tours and
and
stuff like that, which is quite unique to that
Met up with
part
your
of the
coach,
world.
Matt.
So, Matt, I haven't actually met him in person, even though he's been coaching me for years.
Dominic.
Is he big in person?
He's tall.
He's a large person.
He
yes.
tried to out-angle Will on every photo
I saw that,
opportunity.
yeah.
I think he's 6'4".
Is he
Oh,
actually?
wow.
He's 6'4". Holy
He's tall.
Okay,
Yeah.
you
I don't
covered.
know. I don't know exactly how tall.
No,
But
he's nice to me now.
yeah.
After bullying you the whole trip.
Yeah, but ever since comp, he's been really nice to me.
Yeah, it's a nice bully. Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice. It's all, yeah.
And then
Then
up to New York for a week or a bit over a week, and stayed right in the middle of the hustle and bustle of New York.
Just
Did
down from Times Square.
comedy shows, did
Theatre, 9/11.
all that. Oh yeah, all the touristy stuff. Every little bit of tourist that we could be, we did.
They went to Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Yep. Went to Harry Potter theatre show. It was good.
Can you reenact it for us
Good storyline.
quickly? That was a very vital point of the show from last week.
Yeah, so in Harry Potter, they do magic, right? And then, just for anybody who doesn't know
If
Harry
you've lived
Potter,
under a rock for 10 years, yep.
yeah, if for some reason
20,
you're just not
20
familiar with
plus.
Harry Potter,
Mm.
they get their wands and they go pew pew, and then they shoot at each other. And it's kind of like Star Wars, but like less.
It's like
And,
Star Wars.
It's like so.
And then, yeah, they did a lot of that in the theater, and so they shot it, and then it was like lights, music, explosions.
What is it, like little fireworks or something? Or like
I don't know. You don't know.
It
That's
has
that's
flame
the whole.
as well.
It is. It's magic. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the whole point, right?
Yeah, they were flying around the stage, they were disappearing on the floor.
Oh,
Yeah, they
wow.
have their little secret tunnel, so they like appear up in another spot, and you're like, oh, crazy magic. You know?
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was really cool.
Yeah, there's
Will's
actually
like,
a cool storyline
Will
too.
leading into it was just like, this is going to be so lame because like you're going to know exactly where they're going and what they're doing. Because in the whole thing, it's like it's going to make you like question and wonder like how it's magic.
Magic.
And Will's like, it's going to be so fucking obvious. It's so dumb. And then as he was leaving, he walked out. He's like, that was pretty cool. Like, how'd they do some of those things?
Yeah, there's a reason it's like
Wilbur
a
was trying to-
multi-million-dollar show.
Throw him a 20 out the back. Come on,
It's
bro.
not-
Come on. Tell me your secrets.
It's
Yeah.
not.
How'd you
It's
do
not.
that cool trick.
Don't ruin the magic.
Yeah, it's not just a bunch of 20-year-olds in high school just trying to,
High school
reenact
musicals.
Shakespeare. Very different. Proper pros. Anyway,
Proper magicians.
Proper magicians.
Yeah.
yeah.
Wizards.
And then comedy shows.
We did a lot of different stuff in New York from
Yeah, but we're proper tourists.
Central Park was probably one of my favorite things. And then after that, we went down to DC.
Yeah, rode our bikes around the park.
Did you get all the way around Central Park?
It's large.
It's
when me and Jamie went in 2019,
massive,
we did a
yeah.
lap of the whole thing.
How long
Did
did
it
that
take you a while
It was over an hour.
yeah, it was like an hour and
Oh.
90 minutes or
to
something.
get around the whole thing?
Yeah, but me and him
Oh.
didn't really stop and see things.
Right.
We
That
were
was
just,
how long it took to go from point A all the way around the track
Yeah, we were gunning
Okay.
it back in 2019, whereas this time we
Yeah, because
we
you were
didn't-
running out of time as well, didn't you? You're like, fuck, we gotta
yeah, you
go
only
back.
hire the bikes for so long. So,
Yeah,
It's because Wilbo was 123 and Jamie thought, no, we better get that down a little bit.
yeah.
Do some extra cardio.
yeah, this time we only did the bottom half, which is where more of like the stuff is, and there's like more stuff to see, like little fountains and whatever.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so did that. Lots of museums, and then we took the train down to Washington DC to President's house and all that stuff.
Did you catch up with?
Albo was there.
Albo was there. He was having a chill.
That's right.
Just working out what the Americans are doing and the Australians are doing, I guess, and then thought he'd come over when we're there because we could give our input as to the Australian way of life.
Going-ons.
Yeah.
Going on.
Yeah.
This is what's happening in powerlifting.
Just so you know,
If you guys want to integrate any part of this,
from a ground level, mate,
Yeah.
this is what's going on. We've got pretty shitty internet here, so if you want to fix that up, that'd be great.
Tell me about it.
best part is we created Wi-Fi. That's still my favorite fact.
Did we actually? We? You? Nexus?
Yeah, I was actually part of the team that created it.
I was one of the
I
countrymen.
You have been around that long, so I wouldn't be surprised. DSL as well, dial up.
DC was more
DC
history
was Canberra.
stuff.
If you've been to Canberra, you've been to DC in a way.
Not really
Cities.
at all. It's much bigger and everything.
Yeah, but
Can you
like
tell us
lots
about
of
the squirrels.
Oh, there was a black squirrel.
there's lots of squirrels
Yeah.
of different colours. Yes.
But like I didn't know that black squirrels existed. Okay, so and they're not obviously very common either because when we were on a tour guide and I stopped halfway through the tour
I'm
and
sure
I
they're very common.
left her spiel.
Yeah.
We were on a Lincoln assassination tour, and I left a spiel to go get some photos of this black squirrel that she said she didn't even know. She's a local. She said she didn't even know black squirrels existed either
I do not think that
until
was the
she
case.
saw it like a few years ago. But she's like, normally squirrels are like a brownie grayish sort of color, like that's your traditional one. And then there was this black one just like bouncing around doing its own thing.
Did anyone else see the black squirrel? or
I
was
got it on
just-
video. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Mickey, you watched
Yeah.
the video back. It's actually
Yeah.
nothing.
There's nothing there.
He was chasing. He started like chasing after me and stuff.
Psychedelics are
But
legal.
we were
in
on
DC,
a-
What
aren't they?
colour is Bowser?
He's black.
Are psychedelics legal in DC?
Everything else is.
I don't-
Americans don't
mushrooms?
care about that shit, by the way. So some states,
Speaking for all of them.
from what I can tell, my experience
My
on the
Tread
whole
lightly.
country,
Yeah.
so there are some states where like marijuana is legal, and you can just walk into a dispensary, just fucking buy it in whatever shape form you want.
You can
And
drink it,
in
you can
any-
eat it, you can smoke it.
Do whatever the hell you want with it. Completely legal. And then there are other states where it's not. And one of the places it wasn't, from what the people told us, was New Orleans,
Yeah, Louisiana.
Louisiana. It's apparently illegal. But
Oh.
we walked past multiple places where there's like flashing neon lights, like, buy it here, like fucking
your
come
weed.
have it.
THC.
Like not hiding it.
Louisiana, of all places.
Mm.
The
much everything
the,
else is
the
legal
southern
there.
states, they don't like it. It's the
One of the
progressive
ladies
states
told
that-
us that
it's the blue states that
bringing it between states as well. So like we
you
bought,
can't take it between states. But
Yeah.
again, nobody gives a fuck about anything.
yeah,
They're just like, it's illegal, but we got more shit to do.
Yeah.
Is the vibe that I got?
especially
Yeah, right.
considering when we were boarding flights, there was like signs saying like you can't bring your guns on a plane. Like I don't think that
Yeah.
bringing a
That's
couple
reasonable.
of edibles on
I
there.
think that's pretty fucking. I think
Yeah.
that's
okay.
like self-explanatory. That one.
don't
So
know.
So if there's a few guys going through with guns, they're probably going to focus on them than the guy with
yeah, a couple
some
of
pop
gummies.
brownies or something.
Yeah, a couple
fair
of
enough.
gummies.
Yeah.
Did you see people walking around with guns?
Not with guns,
Ah.
not with guns. But we didn't really go to like Texas or anything like that, where it's a little bit more common apparently. So
Yeah.
Bowser's in a mood now.
Play with me.
And then
Yeah, so after DC, like whilst we we're in DC, we did the American Pro as well. That was really fun.
sure did saw some crazy lifting. Just like everything else, America does everything to the next level. So that was a
Spectacle.
show.
Yeah,
How many women pulled 291?
two different women,
Crazy.
291.
291.
How many
lowest
pounds is that?
Brianna Terry
In
did it
freedom
at
units,
75.
it's about 600 and 20 or something.
Yeah.
6:30.
Yeah.
I think somewhere around there.
Yeah,
It's a
something
lot.
like that.
It's a lot of weight.
But yeah, some crazy,
So
crazy
Samantha
fucking
Rice
lifting.
and then Brianni Terry were the two women that did
That
that.
did
Then there was like
291.
Kirsty Hawkins that squatted 310. I know.
Yeah, she got the all-time dots of all time. Any lifter, anything, anywhere.
She's now the GOAT.
She's now the number one dots.
She is the GOAT.
And then on the men, we had people like John Hack, Danny Grigsby, that sort of stuff. So like just as good of male lifters as well. And like I said, a lot of show like flashing lights, music, all that kind of like a little fucking WWE style like walkout little ramp, which seemed excessive because like people only use it for their third deadlift. And I was like, oh, fuck! If I set that up, I'm making cunts walk down it for every lift. You know what I
Can
mean?
you imagine having to walk down a ramp in wraps?
Hey, you did it at Pro Raw. You had to walk up a ramp and down a ramp.
Yeah, but it was like a slight incline. It was pretty fucking.
It wasn't
easy.
a ramp though.
You see it
It
well.
was a walkway. It was just
at
a little
APL
path.
Nats a couple of years ago, they did
You had to go up
the
the
stairs.
Stairs and Wilmo had to carry me.
Yeah, we had to just lift
He
people up.
had to lift
it.
me
Yeah.
up because I couldn't. They did have the chair set
They
up
had
on
one
the
bench.
platform
Yeah.
to do wraps.
to wraps.
Yep.
But the issue is the only place you could kneel to wrap was right in the walkway. So the people trying to get off the platform or
Yeah.
whatever,
So it's only
Just
one way up and down as well.
you just
Yeah.
couldn't. You just like, so if you just squatted and you still got your wraps on, you can't go
Not
anywhere
very
because
logistic,
someone's blocking
That
your way.
platform
and-
did end up breaking, so they took it away.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did break the
Dropped
platform day
deadlift
one,
through it. It was great.
Yeah.
and so everything was on the floor after that.
That
Yeah.
was their stage too.
But yeah, so anyways, American Pro. Then after DC, we flew to LA because you wanted to watch Periphery perform. So we had to extend the
Well
trip
worth it.
so that you
Nice.
could stay back and watch one of your favorite bands.
Yeah, and the basketball.
When you said that you wanted to do Periphery, I then looked at basketball tickets to see if the Lakers were playing, and then I booked our flights to get from DC to LA the same night that the Lakers and the Clippers were playing in LA. So it was two LA teams head to
It was a
head,
sick game.
and it was fucking sick. It was a really good game.
good overtime game. LeBron played really well. You know, he's a bit
course.
hit and miss at the moment. He's getting there. So
I think he was
to
still
catch
the
one of his
highest point
fucking great
scorer.
games,
Yeah.
you know, we can say that.
It was like over 30 points.
Maybe he
scored.
just knew you were there.
Quite possible, yeah.
Yeah.
He heard from Elbow.
My
He-
mum-
Elbow
he
sent
heard
him a
us
text
from-
and was like, hey brother, just
My-
so you know, a couple of VIPs are coming.
Yeah, exactly.
I told my mum that
Make
we
sure
were
you
going
sit him
there.
literally right at the back. Cheers, mate.
Still would have
we
been.
were literally like one of the back rows as well. It was like there's still like $300-$400 for our
I was
tickets.
about to say, were tickets still
Yeah.
It's
At,
still
like-
a really good view, though. It's not like you're
'cause
looking
it,
through
you look
binoculars.
down.
pops down?
Is that
yeah.
USD
But-
as well?
No, that was converted to AUD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I told my mum though, because mum's like, I was like, heading out to the game. She's like, oh, cool, I'll put it on. Tell me where you're sitting. And I was like, courtside. So
Totally
she's
courtside.
like,
Yeah.
she's watching and like checking out. She's like, I can't see you. And then like next to LeBron, there was like some blondish haired looking chick. And then she's like, I don't know if that's you. I was like, fuck mum, if I was sitting next to LeBron on a courtside fucking game,
Yeah,
the whole world would know about
we're not
that.
coming back.
Those
Yeah.
tickets are like $20K
Yeah.
for those courtside
Oh,
seats.
I'm sure they're
Minimum.
I'm sure they're
Yeah,
VIP.
they're-
as in,
it's
like,
from 15,000 when we were looking at some of the seating. So
Crazy money.
yeah,
and I'm sure that
big bucks. But
Those
the
ones are more-
Hawkeye from Marvel, he was there. There was a few like rappers and
Jeremy
and that
Renner.
sort of
Jeremy,
stuff.
yeah, I was about to say Jeremy
Yeah.
Renner. He's
Yeah,
back
he
up and
rocked
about.
up. Yeah, he rocked up. And then there was a few other rappers and stuff like that. There
you
was
say,
one guy
say
like
rappers because like they were just guys with like stupid chains and like gold fucking
they were
feather.
showing him on the camera and stuff. I don't know who.
Yeah,
I
but
don't
yeah,
know
we
what people
assume
look
they
like.
were rappers just based on what they were wearing.
And he's
Yeah.
like dancing and that sort of
it's
stuff. so-
probably Lil something.
Yeah.
I would
LIL
say.
something.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna go out
Something
and say it
with
was
dollar
Lil.
symbols or some kind of like asterisk or something like
Yeah,
that
yeah,
in there.
Stereotypes are a wonderful thing.
That's great. Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Can't
and-
quite think of his last name, but first name Lil for sure.
Little chains. Yeah.
but yeah, so all in all, America, good fun. I think Will did have a pros and cons list. I don't know if we're going to get into that too much today.
I didn't even. Yeah, I
We
didn't.
won't dive
We'll go
deep
into
into
your-
the pros and cons list.
I'll give you a quick fire. Yeah.
Oh, no. You get to give the quick fire to yourself.
Oh no, I meant the pros and cons list.
Best versus worst meal in the US.
The worst was definitely a few of the burgers that we had. We went to a couple of places, and they just oil the crap out of their burgers.
Yes.
There
There was no particular
just
meal
like,
that was
hey,
bad.
here's if you order like a standard burger, like with a meat patty and then cheese, and then you whatever, it'll just be like all cheese and then the tiniest bit of meat. So it's just like
doused in oil.
Yeah. Lots of oil.
How much
Everything-
cheese do you want? All
Yeah.
of it.
There was one burger I think you took us to in New York that it was just like dripping everywhere, and you were not very happy about
Yeah. Then
that
the owner
burger.
came up. Well, one of the owners of the franchise, he came up at the end because I don't know if you could tell that I wasn't like overly enjoying it. And it was pretty empty. And he's like, "How's your meal?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's all right, I guess." I was like, "Man, I don't want to get into this." But-
Best meal though was the one at the Italian restaurant that we went to, where you had the lamb chops, and we were sitting in Hugh Jackman's table.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Elbow sent another text.
Yeah.
He was just texting all the boys.
Yeah.
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 All the
Hey,
Aussies
hook him up with
unite.
the seat.
Hey,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then the waiter thought for something. He's like, "Well, I mean, Australians. You probably know Hugh.
Yeah.
Here's
Yeah.
my
He's a
picture
good
with him."
friend.
personally,
Comes down
yeah,
to the gym.
we actually live on the same street.
Yeah.
Hedges,
So
Hedges Ave.
because they knew, like, when I was booking it, they're like, is it for an occasion and stuff like that? So, like, everywhere that I was trying to put in that it was our honeymoon, I was, because they were like, there was times where they were giving us free champagne bottles and stuff like that. Like, when we checked into hotels, they were giving us champagne bottles. So everywhere I went, I was like, yeah, we're here on our honeymoon, like, from Australia.
So is that the secret?
Yeah, you just tell
I'm
people
just
that
going
you're
to
on a
tell,
honeymoon.
no matter where I'm going, it's on my honeymoon.
You have
Yeah.
It's just you.
They'll expect a
Yeah.
they'll expect a higher tip though because you
Yeah,
guys are
you and
happy,
Kiva.
having a good time. You and Kiva.
Maybe.
But yeah, so that's why he was just like, oh, okay, like here's this is a special table. It's where Hugh Jackman sits, and it's like
Yes.
at the very back of the restaurant, tucked away. So obviously no one can see him. And then when we were in DC, we also sat at the table that who's JFK proposed to Jackie Kennedy. That
Oh,
was
wow,
the table that we
great.
sat at. I took a photo of it.
Yeah.
It's the proposal.
You like Hugh
table.
Jackman more.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But yeah, so that was best and worst food.
Over and underrated sites.
Well, my overrated sites were always like just the bridges, like the Golden Gate Bridge.
Yeah, that was all right. The Golden Gate.
I don't know.
Bridge.
Yeah,
We
you
did
can't
underwhelming.
really like you look at it and it's like
We got
yeah,
to
cool,
see it at
bridge.
least because Carl the
Um,
Fog didn't come over and like cloud our show, so we actually got to see it at least.
Yeah, bridges. What was your favorite, Mickey?
Favorite bridge.
Favorite bridge.
Favorite site?
Favorite site. I don't know. There was a lot of different things to do. So like all in all, I really enjoyed DC. That was something that I like
The
really
events,
appreciated. Yeah, just
museums.
everywhere, like in like all the monuments and all that sort of stuff, the Lincoln statue and that sort of stuff. Arlington Cemetery, I thought was really, really cool and like quite peaceful.
I enjoyed
also,
we went to two different.
multiple different.
Didn't even hear what I was going to say.
Okay, I have a feeling I know what you're going to say. Carry on.
Yeah, two different like air and space type museums.
We went to the World War II Museum in New Orleans.
Yeah, but
Went
that
to-
wasn't an air and space one. That was just like a
Yes.
multiple mixed
World
up
War
one.
II. Not much
Yeah.
of that going on. Yep.
Yeah.
Little bit.
They had planes.
True.
They did have planes
Space?
in
No.
there.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So like at these two different ones, we saw like two different space shuttles. We saw like the two different iterations of the CIA, like spy planes.
Blackbird. Yeah.
The Blackbird
that's cool.
ones.
Did they let you fly it?
Yeah.
We were
Fuel
actually
that up for us, brother.
we were actually following
Got to get back to Australia.
one of the guys that we did to.
Pressing buttons.
Yeah, one of the guys
Please, sir.
that we were on the tour with,
Kids
because it was
ride.
free tours through there. He was a pilot of one of the like planes that was doing, I think, Vietnam War. He was a pilot for that. I can't remember, maybe the Cold War or something. But anyway, so he was like super passionate about all these different planes and learning about all that different stuff. So it was just really cool to have a tour guide that one knew what they were talking about, because from experience, he's like, yeah, I did like 8,000 hours in this thing and like all that
Wow.
sort of stuff.
Yeah, but that 8,000 hours comes with a little bit of a negative connotation, doesn't it? Really?
Yeah.
He's
He was
pretty-
telling me how he had like
Dropping
fighter
bombs.
planes like shooting him down and like trying to shoot him down and
Trying
all
to.
that sort of stuff. And then there was a few other tour guides that we did that was really, really cool. So if you're moving around and traveling, that sort of stuff, definitely make sure that you're booking in with people that you can tell are a little bit more experienced with where they're going and stuff, because that definitely makes a difference on the overall
Yeah,
experience.
the cheaper tour guides aren't worth it.
That's sick.
The
The weirdest thing you saw.
there are actually much less weird stuff than the first time that I went. Maybe because Jamie and I just did more dodgy stuff, but went to dodgier areas. This one was a little bit more planned. I don't know, weird.
We had a weird incident where there was like the homeless guy that was following us around and stuff.
Oh, we're on the Lincoln assassination tour, and they took us like the theater where he was shot and stuff like this, and
Some guy started like getting all up in our face, and
Yeah,
Will was
he
just like
was-
standing back while this dude was like in my face, like,
he was a little
oh
bit,
yeah,
well, he was a little bit between.
long live the king, like hail King Charles. And I was like, what are you talking about? I was like, oh yeah, okay. I was like, I'm from Australia, mate. I'm not from
Must
the
thought you were
UK.
part of the monarchy.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, I was like, we are, but I was like, King Charles is like that's British, man, like
Yeah,
different
don't have to
country.
get into it. The dude was fucked up. He was
Yeah.
he was well out of this
And then he
world.
followed us around. Like we tried to get away from him and like walked into a cafe and a restaurant, and he like followed us in there and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, it was pretty weird. It was a little bit spooky. And then that was probably the weirdest encounter that we had,
Yeah.
for sure. So
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, in 2019 we had the dude that tried to pull a knife on us, and we also saw one of the wonders of the US, which was the slowest checkout person of all time, which I thought was a cool addition that they didn't tell you about.
it was like a 20-minute.
I know.
Go on.
Yeah, I went to this store
We
in,
haven't heard this yet.
in Arizona, in Phoenix. I went to this. We were across the road. Our Airbnb was across the road from this supermarket. And the first time I went alone. Jamie stayed back at his place at the Airbnb, and I got some food, and I lined up with this one checkout, and there was this older guy, and it was literally just like I've never seen a person move slower. Like,
Can you
just
give
less,
us an example?
just less
Scan
urgency.
the Maximus
He's just
bottle
like-
here on the ground.
Just take it through nice and put that through, press a couple buttons. Like, it was just like unbelievable. I was literally like jaw drop. I was like, holy shit. And then
This is amazing.
it was fucking incredible. I was like, questions are running through my head. Like, how does this guy still have a job?
Do you think he was
Like, there's
trying?
no way.
Like, was he trying to be that slow?
I
Maybe
don't-
he wanted to get fired.
Maybe.
And he was like, fuck, if I just go
I had
real
a
slow.
feeling like it gave me vibes of like, this is, the owner's
Maybe it is the
father
owner.
or some shit.
Maybe it is the owner. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
I
the
don't know, but it
business.
was crazy. I was like, this is.
Didn't you go
if
back
this guy's
there with
getting
Jamie?
paid per hour, holy fuck. And then,
One customer an hour.
Sounds
Yeah.
like he wouldn't last at Aldi supermarkets.
yeah, and then I went back
They
with
just
Jamie.
throw it.
Yeah, very different. Yeah, and I went back with Jamie the next day, and then there were two checkouts open. One was that bloke,
Yeah.
and one was like this other, younger, normal checkout.
Aldi
person that you would see.
experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was about like, I don't know, like a massive line for the younger person. The older bloke has like maybe two people lined up.
Also, people knew.
Yeah, people knew. Jamie didn't know yet. And then Jamie
He
goes
went-
to get in the short one. And I'm like, no. Trust me, man. Trust me. And then so we get in the short one, and he's looking at me like, there's no fucking way that we beat that. Like, there's no way this works out better than the two people, because there's like literally like 3 times as many people we have to wait for. And then as we go, surely we're catching up, and we end up checking out like literally just ahead of the person that we would have, like where we
Nice.
would have been, with the other guy. And I'm like, see, and we were just like, this is incredible. Anyway, one of the best, American experiences going through the checkout.
Not the honeymoon, not the periphery, not the Lakers, the checkout
The
guy.
Aftershock Festival.
Yeah.
Wonder if he's still there today, serving people.
It's still got 2 people in his life.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
still, probably a couple
Just
of
chipping
lined up
away.
there.
No rush.
Crazy times.
Yeah. Any other rapid fire questions?
That was pretty much all of them.
Okay.
Yep.
Will
Yep.
had your little bit of a pros and cons. You got 5 minutes. Go.
Nah, I'll give you. Where did I put my phone? I'll just give you one because, there was a couple on either side. The pros were mostly based around like sports, music, events, just shit on.
Yeah.
Just
So much.
literally
happening.
any day of the week, you're like, I don't have anything on tonight, and then it'll just be like some band playing in town, or there'll be a show of some sort, and it's just easy just to do stuff. Whereas in Australia, like,
You have to plan 3 months in
Fuck,
advance.
yeah.
I've always wondered that because you watch like American movies or TV shows,
Yeah.
and they're like in New York or they might be in LA or something, and they're just like, oh yeah, it's Tuesday night. I'll finish work at 7:30 and then we'll go catch
Yeah.
Yep.
A
this
stand-up
huge
comedy
band,
show.
or they're
Yeah.
going to go to
Yeah.
a comedy show, or they're like, oh, we'll go to the club and then do this, and
Yeah.
you're just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. There's literally stuff on all
brother,
the time.
we got nothing to the Goldie. We got Miami Marquetta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
Not open till Wednesday.
yeah, there
Wednesday through
is
Sunday, isn't it?
New York definitely has a lot more sort of happening
Yeah,
than
that'd be
anywhere
sick.
else.
But
LA
still, like,
has
nearly everywhere
stuff.
has stuff on all the
Yeah.
time. So that was kind of the that and the main like
That was the main highlight and the main reason why we went was that you wanted to
yes, just for those sorts of
experience.
things.
Yeah.
The one that I'll bring up on one of the cons list to America here that I got.
I'm worried.
No, it'll be the
Be ready, Tam.
I think the
We'll just do a clap
No,
in case
Tam,
we need to
yeah.
cut
you're
back to
fine.
this point.
There's no cutting needed. I think the one I want to bring forward is just the people blasting music everywhere, or just blasting,
Oh, yeah.
just people blasting,
That did not go where I was expecting it to.
just people blasting sound,
Sound, yes.
just sound. I
Audio
won't even call it
files.
music sometimes. Just like it just seems like in America that I don't know actually what the law is in Australia about blasting music, but I'm sure that there's like a decibel level.
We do have,
There's
decibel
legal limits.
levels
Yeah,
at
there's a
certain
limit.
times and certain
But
areas.
you can't just walk down the street here and just have speakers hanging off you, just fucking forcing everybody within a 1 kilometer radius to hear whatever you want.
The caveat, though, again, is that if you go to Cavill Ave, we do have that, and that's where we localise
But that's
it to.
buskers and
Or
stuff
if you,
like that.
or if
Yeah,
you
but
like
they're
the-
buskers
on the
or if
bikes
you,
and
or
shit.
if you catch, yeah, they do have that actually.
Oh, on the electric bikes.
Yeah, they're
yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
Like
dancing
ten
and
bucks.
fucking.
Or you have,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
if
You
you've
know,
ever caught public transport on the Gold Coast,
Oh, people
you've
playing
always
it
got
off
the
their
little
phone.
Lachets playing it off their phone in the back.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that's been a thing
Carriage.
for many years.
Yeah,
that
but
at
it's
all.
Rite
not
of
like
passage.
Yeah, but it's not to the same
like
level.
big speakers.
Yeah, like we saw a dude who was riding. I saw a dude riding a push bike. On the back end of it, he had like a proper boombox. You know, like one that you would put in the gym or something like that, hanging out like strapped to the back of his bike. And then on the front, he had another small speaker just in case the people in the front wanted a bit of it as well. And I'm like, mate, a little bit of overkill. Like, I don't know, it just didn't seem necessary. Just way so loud. And then it also seems it's encouraged by the like councils and stuff or whatever.
encouraged.
Whoever's- Yeah, because when we went to,
It's not encouraged.
it seems like it is. It seems like it's allowed though. Because
Play your music louder.
Yes.
when we went to New Orleans, there was this like show cars you could like hire for no reason other than to drive around because they got lights and shit on. It's definitely not like a car hire service. Like it's a drive
bit of
around
fun.
and show off. Yeah,
Yeah.
have fun. Yeah. And they were just like obscenely loud.
Yes.
Just fucking annihilate everyone's eardrums around you. So
Yeah.
like they're encouraging you to fuck people up. Like
Yeah.
it just it was just like why?
That's
But why?
hilarious.
He
Well,
was
what do
definitely-
you get out of this shit?
Noise
He
pollution.
that was
If
definitely.
anybody could tell me what you get out of it, I would want to know.
Yes,
'cause it
submit your
just-
feedback for. Send Will
Yeah.
a direct message actually because I don't need to hear it.
I want to know.
He's had enough.
At W Cross on. This is literally what I've been dealing with the whole trip. There was that, and then the constant complaint about the taxes and how shit our dollar was and tipping. He was
Yeah,
like, I don't want to
yeah,
fucking
tipping
tip
makes it-
everyone just because they put some buttons through on a screen. He's like, I'm not going to fucking tip you for doing your job. But in saying that, as we learnt, the minimum wage over there is like $3 an hour for some of these people. So
and we
they
also
survive
learned
off
that is
tipping.
now Alex's wage.
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah.
True.
So
We pay Kiva less than that, don't we? Is that,
Yeah, but that's why he has the bin.
Yeah, the
depends
bottles,
how many cans he
the
gets.
bottle
Yeah,
subsidizes.
that thing's full.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
is,
he
take
hasn't
that.
emptied it. But yes, so the taxes and the tippings were definitely one thing. And
Yeah.
even when we
I
spoke
would
to
implement
people
it if I
over
was a
there-
business owner, but if I was a worker over there, holy fuck,
yeah, not
would
fun.
not. I don't get it.
No, but we were sitting there and we were saying like the one guy that was serving us in New York at that Italian restaurant, like he was probably serving like, I don't know, maybe 10 or 12 tables or something like that was like his
Yeah, I'm
little-
not saying they
his
don't
area.
get paid well, but if you add their tips up, I'm saying the business owners are
Yeah,
just
like our tip
fucking
was
loving life.
our
'cause
tip
they-
was like 20 something bucks, like, you know,
Don't
it was a
seem to pay
decent
wages.
it was a decent amount. And I'm like, if you add that up over these 10 tables, let's just say $20 average per table, and we didn't tip like, you know, a high amount. I'm like, that's like $200 for the hour.
Yeah,
like
he's doing
that's a solid little paycheck at the end of the day.
and meanwhile, the owners are sitting there going like, I don't have to pay my staff. This
Yeah.
is great.
It's perfect.
Yeah, so it's
Perfect
the
for
tipping
them.
culture over there.
Yeah.
Apparently, you know, everyone's like, yeah, it's just part of the culture. It's what we do. But
Yeah, they all seem to hate it.
they
which
all
is
hate
weird,
it. When we
but-
spoke to a lot of locals and stuff,
Like the people that are doing the work or the people that have to tip or
Both.
like who's
everyone.
everyone hates it.
Every
Yeah.
person we spoke to, they were like, it's just part. It's like
Because
it's
when we
almost like it
told
was just
them
part
that
of the.
like our hourly wages for hospitality is between, you know, X and X, they're like, oh my God, that's amazing. I was like,
Okay, put on the accent.
Yeah.
I don't know what accent that was.
Yeah, it wasn't an accent.
Maybe if they turn their volume up a little bit, they get tipped a little bit more.
Yeah.
Maybe it's relative to the audio.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Anyway, so that was just another thing that I wanted to mention. And then the toilets I didn't like either, but yeah.
We'll skip the toilet.
Yeah.
We don't need to
Okay.
go down that road.
You don't need to go down
potty
that road.
talk.
Their toilets are different from ours.
Yeah.
But you'll see if you go over. You'll definitely see.
Yep.
Yeah.
Everything. And if you will and don't flush
inside
properly,
jokes.
I'll see everything too.
Good. Yeah.
All right.
Onto the comp though. So we got back and straight back into like the following weekend after we got back, straight into
Josh's competition.
comp, which you had obviously yourself, but a handful of other lifters at. So give us a breakdown, like what comp it was.
So there was two comps. It was over Saturday, Sunday. The Saturday was the Novice Spring Cup at Valhalla in Brisbane, and then the Sunday was Battle in Valhalla, also at Valhalla in Brisbane.
That was a GPC.
So that's a GPC federated event.
Yeah, and novice. Yeah.
And then Saturday was the Novice. On the Saturday, ended up having 3 of the boys, plus Blake was like a ring in. The boys did really well. Ricardo walked away with first place. So Ricardo, first place, 660 total. 450 dots in a novice comp is crazy. Pulled 280 at like 81 kilos.
Yeah, he had a big turnaround because when he competed here, he
bombed.
to himself admit he will happily tell you this, but he had a bit of a mental breakdown with it, as in like
he shat the bed.
Yeah, got super nervous and a bunch of other stuff and really kind of stuffed it up from a mental perspective and really kind of had it with powerlifting for a little bit, but luckily got back on the bandwagon.
Well, that was kind of our whole focus.
Yeah.
Through his prep, and he messaged me about a week out and specifically said, like, the difference between this comp and last comp is I feel confident to lift, not scared to lift.
Yeah,
I love that.
So we worked on his technique. We'd really built habits, and I was kind of had to be like a little bit harsher on him than I was the previous prep. And I was like,
and that's something that you learn over
stop
time.
This, do this, don't do that. Like, listen to me.
But it's also why you do the novice comp, and that's why we told him to start there as well, is so you get those nerves out of the way, you get some practice, you learn from those mistakes, and you can clean it up, get in there next time, do a better job.
Yeah, that's exactly why
and he's
I
doing
made him do another novice. Yep, he's signed up to APL Queensland States for next year now.
Yep,
straight back in.
Good.
But he just like that. That's exactly why. Well, that's exactly what coaching is in my eyes, because it annoys me still that sometimes coaching is seen as like, where's my program? What do you use, spreadsheets, or do you use something like all the questions are based around the program and how and all that part of the service, and it's such a zoomed in. Yeah, because I mean, at the end of the day, powerlifting programs, although there's definitely better and worse, and there's more individualized and more generic and whatever, but they're all kind of similar to a degree because the squat, bench, deadlift is 3 lifts. It's simple, but the real the coaching is comes through the guidance and the support and stuff like that. I think that's like a fucking prime example of taking somebody who had a really bad meet and then identifying problems that aren't just, strength or weaknesses or the typical stuff and working on them. And
refining your relationship as a coach with the individual so that you can improve the whole experience for everyone. So you know how to, help him through his issues because the two of you actually have built more trust and a better relationship over time.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's all it came down to is I sat down with him post his first comp, and exactly that. He pretty much shit the bed, tore his hamstring, cracked it. He'd had enough. He was done. And we sat down and we had like a bit of a harsher conversation. And we're like, okay, this is what we're going to need to do. Like, I'm going to probably tell you to pull your head in a few times. This is what's going to need to be done. It's all out of love, blah, blah, blah. And we got him through. And as I said, messaged me, said he feels confident, not scared. Rocked up on the day, went 3 from 3 squats. It went 9 from 9.
Yeah.
PB'd every lift.
Yeah.
Massive PB deadlift, like 280 kilos at 81. It's huge.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Voted most handsome.
Yeah, well,
Really?
he was most handsome
By
before he arrived.
Nice.
450 dots and 660 total as a novice is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, that's qualifying for zero pro type level.
Yeah.
In a novice comp.
You come
And then
feel-
we had...
Though
take
he's,
it down.
and this is the difference, like, just for those out there, like, though the total is not a novice, he is very much still a novice
to
athlete.
Absolutely,
Yes.
yeah. That was his
Because a lot of people
second
out there will
ever
like to turn around and be like, oh, he's not a novice athlete. He's like, well, he is because he's got no experience with this. Well, and the first experience was as you said, not a great one. So he needed to build the skill to be a better athlete and competitor, to turn around, do federated meets, and then be more competitive over time.
Absolutely.
That could be a whole other discussion around novice comps and what the definition of novice is.
Yeah.
It
I think
pisses
that's
me off
probably a pretty
sometimes.
good one.
Yeah.
But then we had James Toller, who came third overall. He won on his came third by his final deadlift by 0.04 dots.
Was that your great skills as a calculating coach, or was
absolutely not? That was so by accident.
Note to
it
self.
just happened to be the best accident ever.
Could have taken credit for that one.
I'm not that smart. When we first there was coaches who were trying to like calculate to beat me.
Yeah.
And I was just like, and they're like, "Oh, you beat me by this much," and I was like, "Oh, good, fuck yeah, what a G." But our goal for the day was 600, and I kind of said it to him at the start based on how prep had gone. I think 600's manageable. I don't know if it's 100% there, but I think it's something we could potentially achieve. Like if you have the perfect day, and he had a perfect day and got a 615 total.
There you go.
250 to win. 250 final pull. Deadlift, like just crazy how he achieved it. And again, that's technically the third quote unquote comp James and myself have done together.
Mm-hmm.
So just learning how he peaks, learning how he responds to stress, learning how he responds to different variables and things like that. And for anyone who doesn't know James, he's probably had the most hectic 2 years of any person I've ever met in my life.
Just life stuff. Yep.
Yeah, turning around and even making it to the platform is incredible. And then to walk away, he was stoked, which was really cool. And we've already sat down and created the plan in place.
Yep.
Then we had Bongers, his only goal was to get a 500 kilo total, and we hit it on the dot.
Bangers for Bongers.
Bongers got the bang, and he did well. He was stoked. So like overall, and then Blakey PB'd squat and deadlift.
Yep.
Despite
being called in last minute.
Despite wanting to pull out 5 times in the last week, and I had to force him to compete.
Yeah.
But yeah, that overall, like that Saturday was a great day. It was a very big day, as it is, and then backed it up on the Sunday. And I went in there to compete myself, and then I had Big Hans, and Tracy from Townsville, who was also competing, both of whom I coach.
Very different lifters.
Vastly different lifters.
Yes.
Fortunately,
both put in a lot of effort and energy in their training.
Both are probably like 2 of the hardest working clients I have, to be honest.
Honza made it legit this time in his weight class. Got in there. Did you do 125?
Yeah, so originally
and then he did 110.
So originally it was going to be Hans and me in the 125s, and then he decided last minute, because he'd been cut down to the 110s, because there was a bunch more boys in that class that were going to be a bit more competitive. So it gave him a bit of a drive. Yeah, like he's someone who does want to be competitive and like compete with the best, and I'm someone who's just like,
don't say.
I just want to do better than I did last. Like I really don't care about coming first, even though I did. But
first place.
We'll get there.
Why aren't you wearing your medal today?
Sammy's got it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I put it on him. He just walks around the house, so he knows his dad's a champion.
You don't want to brag too much.
Yeah, I don't want to brag or anything, but first place, 125s, whatever. We'll get to that. But yeah, so Trace and Hans. Tracy had probably one of the better preps. We only started basically at the start of her prep together.
Mm-hmm.
So it was essentially I was just peaking. There was not too much else going into that, which was great. She's someone who booked in every call, did her check-ins every week, uploaded her videos every week, followed her program to a T, kept me up to date with how things were feeling. She works with Kirby and does the exact same for her, comfortably came into her weight class.
Kirby Nutrition. Yeah.
Kirby from Nutrition, yeah. PB squat, PB deadlift, PB squat and bench. Just missed out on a PB deadlift, but she was also, she's dropped so much weight since she first started competing that she's 2 weight classes down from where she first started. Oh, wow. And she's PB'd all her lifts.
Crazy.
So great effort from her. She rewarded herself with a trip to Bali. She's having a great time over there at the moment.
Yeah, lovely.
Big Hans.
I still got a check-in though. I saw that. I still put the check-in.
Yeah, she still checked in.
Yeah, good.
What was it? What are you struggling with? Bintang.
Yeah, just to tell us that she's having a great time. Yeah. She's already booked in her call for when she's back.
What a trooper.
And I was like, I got a notification. I was like, Tracy, off your phone.
Yeah.
Relax.
So chill out.
And then, Big Hans. So he cut down. So he was actually 14 kilos lighter than his last comp.
Yeah.
15 kilos because he weighed in at 109.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, him and me both had a shocker with squats. And we reflected post-comp and we're like, look, mate, I think you and me are a bit delusional.
We're just going to get
We
harsher.
were a bit delusional through the whole prep. No, bro, that's deep enough. That's deep enough. We're good. Both of us shit the bed on that, but that's fine.
It's easy to do. I've been there, that's for sure.
He PB'd his bench 172.5, and then a big old PB deadlift 317.5 to come third in the under 110s, which also happened to place him third overall.
Yep,
which is a fucking big achievement. And he's again he's a workhorse. He's
straight back in the gym.
Fuck, he was in here the day
He was
after.
back in the gym the next day doing 300 on the silver dollar.
Yeah, belt
for reps.
Yeah, because he has another comp to win.
Well,
he's just checking them off.
I messaged him and I was just like, oh, hey,
getting
man,
gold medals.
He's got to earn those beers,
where are you floating around this week? Blah, blah, blah. Like, what are you thinking? He's like, oh, I'm back in the gym this afternoon. Do you want to catch up? And I was like, brother, I'm not coming in the gym today. I'm not fucking... No.
And that's why he's the champ.
That's why he's better than me.
he's the champ.
Yeah. That's champion mentality. I was being a little bitch at home.
Yeah. That's it.
That was a Monday, so Josh usually doesn't.
I don't really show up on a Monday.
So, yeah.
I work from home.
Mondays are tough.
Yeah.
But and then very different. It's funny with because Hans has been in the game
10
a
years.
long time. Yeah, I remember when we used to train together, well before this place was open. And yeah, like I remember seeing him through lots of different comps, and he's a way different lifter now.
Well, actually, shout out Hans because today is his birthday. So happy birthday, Hansa!
Is it actually today?
Yep. Oh god,
I have to send a message.
But yeah, so it's his birthday today. Turns 26, looks 46.
Yeah.
Okay. He'll admit to that himself. When I first started coaching him and we sat down and I was talking to him because I knew that he'd been around for like 10 years. So I knew he'd been around for a really long time. And anyone who's seen Hansa, he's a grown man. He was born a grown man.
He's a big boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, yeah, I'm 24, blah, blah. And I was like, no, you're not. You are not 24 years old. Your birth certificate is fake. And I was laughing with him and stuff about it. And yeah, so he turns 26 today.
I wonder what the Czech Republic birth certificate does look like. You probably look at it and be like, this is a bit sus.
It's just written up on Microsoft Word. It's got a cool heading. You get to select it.
He's been in the game a long time though.
Yeah,
and
he
got
just
some longevity to him.
Keeps doing the work. And we sat down this week, and I was like, okay, cool. Ran the post-comp discussion. He's like, I want to go straight back into it, SBD, blah, blah, blah. This is where we're going. I was like, done. Perfect. Let's go. So now we've got the work, and he was working with Mikki for nutrition.
Yep, got him down under 110s. He's lost 14 kilos this year.
Yeah, we
were saying that he competed 14. No,
that's all right.
He's competed 14 kilos lighter than his last comp, which was crazy.
Yeah.
And I was really glad he did cut to the 110s, not because I wanted to win.
It wasn't a hard cut by any means.
It had nothing to do with the fact I wanted to win, because if I was going to ever lose to anyone, I would always want it to be Hansa. But it was more because I know he wants to be competitive, and I straight up said to him, I was like, dude, if you're going to compete with me in the 125s, there's no competition there for you. You're just going to obliterate me, and that's going to be a cruisy thing. I think you need the push. I think you need some these bigger guys around you who are exponentially stronger at this point.
Yeah, the 110s had some.
And he agreed,
game.
and he was like, sick. Well, the Aubrey got an 862 total or something.
Yeah, and had a pretty shocking day in terms of attempts.
Not a great day on the platform, and got 862. And I was like, Hans, these are the guys you need to be around to push yourself, because this is where you want to be. This is what you want to do. So I was really glad he did that, and to walk away with third for him and third overall was massive. So I was really stoked on his performance on that day.
What are you going to do with between yourself and him with the depth on squat?
Squat deeper. Just squat deeper.
Yeah, but but how?
Yeah,
what's
sit deeper.
What's the change?
Deeper.
More weight on the bar.
more weight to push us down further. No. So both of us sat down and we straight up called each other out on it. No, we were just fucking delusional. But
I'll tell you what though, it is better than fouling the first two and then only getting the third.
Yeah, well, it's again, and Wilbo pointed this out to me, which I guess post comp, once emotions are down and stuff, it's okay to look at, but it's not as if we either of us failed on strength. We were strong enough to squat down and stand
up. He stood back up all three times.
We just needed to squat a bit deeper. That was it.
What's Will, as Josh's, coach, helping him through this prep, what would be your input to help him with that depth?
We're going through range.
Yeah, it's always about like giving variations that allow you to get into those positions. So, you know, from various different aspects of it, but like skill exercises on that. So like higher bar, safety bar, front squats, whatever kind of variation kind of fits the person. So
Front squats.
We went back to SSB, and my big thing with my SSB was I just really focused on like not sitting to where I'm comfortable, because that's clearly not deep enough, but like genuinely like sitting quite deep into the pocket and trying to really open up through the hips. We've got single leg press again to really open up the hips, because I'm quite
machine stuff,
like machine work for output, reverse lunges, things like that again are going to help with internal rotation of the hip and trying to drive and open up those ranges that at this point in time I don't necessarily have, but I will have.
And don't train through often enough throughout a prep.
Exactly, yeah. And then they kind of like sacrifice them over the course of a prep, and then it just, you know, again, like I could sit there and say the stuff that happened through prep with relation to what was going on with like my calf and my leg and stuff didn't really help the situation.
There's always
but
there's lots of shoulda-wouldas like that.
Yeah, lots of people have stuff that happened through prep, so it's just one of those things that's like
pick up the pieces,
just
didn't
squat deeper enough on the day, and that's fucking
and then secondary to
happens.
that, it's exactly what you said, and it's being just a bit more like mindful of it in prep and getting somebody to watch. That's what I did after that pro roll that I just mentioned there, where I missed my opener and a second attempt, only scraped through on my third on depth. Same thing is a straight away. You ask the guys that I was training with over at Zero. Straight after that, I was almost annoyingly like asking everybody like each set. I'm like, "Hey, watch me. Is it deep enough? Is it deep enough?" And just was checking every single like heavy set that I did every single week to make sure that I was there. And then come the comp after that, the states that I did, all three were well deep enough.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, is it was like one of those
still
things...
shit my pants on the opener. I was like,
yeah, fucking it was something I guess I probably needed as well. So in terms of like over the whole prep, so I mean in terms of numbers on the day, I ended up walking away with 270 squat, 172 bench, which is a 12.5 kilo PB, and a 300 deadlift, which was 30 kilo PB.
Yeah.
So overall, I was 32.5 kilos above my total PB, which like I can't be angry about that whatsoever. I was stoked,
and
like,
an even
fucking
bigger one
really, really stoked, and like overall dots PB and things like that. But I was also like, I was pretty angry, but I was angry at myself because I was like, well, I just didn't train to a good enough standard. That
just learn.
Yeah, and so I was like, well, I'm never going to let that fucking happen again.
What's the next goal for yourself?
We've started cutting, so I'm just going to shred right down.
Shreddy boy.
Under 110.
Summer is coming.
Become a shreddy, jacked and juicy tanned boy for summer. Shredding for Stezza. Hopefully they bring it back. But no, it's more just for like the health stuff, like just bringing back body weight. Like I've been essentially bulking on and off for the last 4 or 5 years to push. Like I've done mini cuts and stuff to bring myself back down in the 110s when I was competing there. And the big push this last 18 months was like we sat down with George and I was like, okay, I want to go to the 125s. I know I'm going to be light. I want to sit around 116, 117. So let's go. And I did that.
We're doing, we just changed to a legs push pull plan.
Yeah.
Which is, people who don't know,
even 6 days a week.
Yeah, kind of. 6 days per 8 days.
It's also not. Yeah.
It's
3 on 1 off, 3 on 1 off, and it just changes.
Yeah, there are different iterations of it you can do, but that's the most basic one. It just means that your training days change slightly every week, but that's not a concern for you.
No.
And then
except for Monday.
Then you do. You have to make the sacrifice, man.
No, that's fine because I don't do much on a Monday either.
So we do legs day, and then actually the order. I'm not sure exactly what we've got, but the order is always like some sort of
change it around a little. I'm going to do push legs pull, thanks to Dr. Daddy Mike.
Whatever it is, but it doesn't matter.
No.
But you have a push day, which is essentially like your quote unquote upper body pushing muscles, so a chest, tricep, shoulders, things that you use to push stuff, and then pull day, which is back day, kind of back, biceps, everything that pulls things
One's
towards you.
One's a little bit more horizontal bias. One's a little bit more vertical bias.
You can.
This
is the stuff that you can split it up.
Yeah, this is how you can articulate.
Some people do like the 3 days are more of like a higher rep, kind of like more machining stuff, and then the second 3 days are more like lower rep, more free weight, strengthy, skilly sort of movements. So there are lots of ways people do these splits, but yeah, we're hitting that at the moment.
Yeah.
Goal to lean up and then put on more muscle in areas that are needed. Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, it should be good. Just starting that, bringing cardio back in this week as well. Just correcting health stuff. Like
What's your
obviously,
cardio regimen?
just for this week, it's going to be 3 times 10-minute sessions, keeping heart rate between 120 to 140.
No,
Start
jam
it
it
off.
up straight up.
Nah, start off basic. Well, I'm already going from
You
4
refuse to
days,
do boxing sessions.
4
with
days
Will,
a week
so-
of like, where would I fit boxing in?
Anyone out there, I'm going to put a call
6
out
days
now.
a week.
Anyone out there, Will wants to do boxing classes.
I got
on
some
a
pads at home. I'll bring them
Beginner.
in. You guys can
beginner
go
level.
ones,
He
in
wants
the
to
car
get
park.
some cardio training in. And
Yeah, it's for pure cardio. It's not for like I'm not gonna. You won't see me
Staunch.
in a boxing ring.
You and
there's
Eddie Hall.
no Eddie Hall sort of.
Who would
Showdown.
who would be your Eddie Hall?
No, me and Bass, we're boxing.
I didn't want to say that. I'm glad you said it.
Yeah.
No, we've already
Hasn't
planned it.
Bass already been practicing?
Yeah, he's way ahead of me.
He's also about
And he
20
trains
kilos
with like
lighter
God,
than Will.
Yeah.
Alex.
It doesn't matter because it's all about the promo. If modern boxing can teach us anything, it's all about the promo because they're, you know, you see guys in those boxing matches now that like literally he looks like they have not
YouTubers.
done one boxing session.
Mm.
Yep.
And then they sell out millions of dollars. So that's the life we're gunning for.
Definitely not.
You know?
But anyone out there,
Catch
Will
Will Bow
needs
in the
some
ring.
training partners.
See me on YouTube.
So, yes.
Because I will not be up taking boxing.
No.
I'll be sitting on a stationary bike.
Again, probably
I want to see you flat out on it.
send him an Instagram message for that. All right. Anything else we got to go through? Oh, we're just going to do a quick little
Gambaru.
shout out for Gambaru. Yeah, that was
Shout
what I
out.
was going to
So
say.
it has launched. That's one of the things we worked really hard to get completed before the wedding and before the honeymoon, before we left. Although we're still working at it, but I mean,
Yeah.
like the big moving pieces of it, we got done before we left, and then it launched just as we got back. So only a week or two ago now, and so that's available. It's roughly $10 a week.
Well, actually, today, this is being aired on Friday. He does have a 50% off Friday.
yeah, there is a Black Friday sale.
sale.
That's
Nice.
yeah.
So
And the Nexus
I'll be
discount
sending
usually
that out.
gives
I'll
you
be
a fair
putting
chunk
up
off.
I'll be putting up a QR, like a drop your email link.
Yeah.
If you subscribe to the email campaign, then you'll be getting an email sent out Friday
Get early
for
access.
the Black Friday sale. It is only going out to those on the email list. He is not actually giving out the Black Friday sale link anywhere publicly. So if you want a Black Friday sale, 50% off the yearly membership.
To give people a
um,
run through what it is briefly, Gambaru's been around forever, but this new version was completely remade from scratch. It's the app that he's collaborated. So Eugene's a bit of an all-rounder, mainly known for the muscle building type physique work, but he's always had like power building programs and stuff in the app. And you can go in, you can choose a program, you can do it. With this new version, he's brought on 10 different collaborators.
Over 10, yeah.
One of which is us. There's calisthenics programs. There's flexibility programs. There's
Gymnastics,
gymnastics,
yoga,
CrossFit,
Muay Thai.
yoga,
Sprinting.
Muay Thai.
So much.
BJJ.
Even these old
running.
school normal programs.
Yeah, the muscle building ones are still there as well. There's well over 50 programs in there. So I've already had a couple of calls with people who have subscribed to help them choose the appropriate program within there because it can get a little bit overwhelming. So if you need some help booking a call with me for free, I'll tell you, which one is probably suited towards your goals, and we can go from there. But yeah, there's lots of programs in there with different specialities, including our ones. So there's 4 different programs.
They also have nutrition in there as
6
well.
different programs,
So a macro tracking calculator, and it also helps you formulate what,
lots of other good
calories.
stuff, nutrition stuff, education stuff,
Yeah.
forums to ask questions, to put up
lifting videos for
lots of stuff.
technique.
I think one of the cool things too that I've been playing around with in that app is you can actually not chop and change programs, but you can like integrate different plans
Combine.
into one
Yep.
sort of thing. So if you want to like do a little hybrid stuff of
Do some
bit of weight
running.
training, a little bit of running,
Yeah.
you can integrate like a 5-day split that actually
You can combine
melds together.
people's
It's
programs.
really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and again, that's
We've had a couple people in here already start doing that sort of stuff.
That's
So
why
have
I
to
can
have
get
a
a
look and play
touch
around.
confusing. So like that's why we're doing the short calls with people is to help them
Yep.
choose the right one.
Yeah.
But it is a super cheap option that I think is crazy value.
Incredible value. Yeah.
So if you're interested in that, reach out.
reach out. We can send you a link. Link will probably be in the bio. If you use the code Nexus at checkout, you'll also get 30% off the discount code. So make sure you do that. But as I said, Black Friday sale this Friday only.
Today. It's coming out.
Today it's coming out. So make sure that you're on the email list to get that discount. Cool beans?
Beautiful.
All right.
Thank you very much for everyone.
Time to take Bowser outside.
Yeah, because he's doing my head in.
He's had
Bestie
enough.
boy.
All right. Say bye, Bowser. Bye.
Woof.
Adios. Thank you for listening to the Nexus Unloaded podcast. Be sure to jump on our website to find details on everything mentioned in the podcast today, plus information on our coaching, mentoring, and gyms based in the Gold Coast and Townsville. Make sure you follow us on our Instagram for any updates on what we are currently doing, and we'll see you all in the next episode.